Ain't no telling what he gonna do. I got to go watch.
The hype verse, more than sports.
Despite what he may have done off the field and some of the antics on the field as well, Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown had a 6-7 year stretch, maybe 8, where there's never been a receiver to ever put up those type of numbers, Joe, that did some of the things he did. Now, most of the time, voters are going to judge also on what occurs off the field as opposed to on, but his numbers speak for themselves. What he was able to do, he's one of the best in the history of this game. In the history of this game, and the story of the receiver position cannot be told without mentioning Antonio Brown. Now, I know it probably will hurt him, with it being his first time, being the first ballot, based on some of the things that have occurred that probably rubbed some of the voters the wrong way.
That's the whole case right there. Antonio Brown's story is messy, but the football resume is not. So the question isn't whether voters remember the chaos. The question is whether the chaos is powerful enough to make them ignore one of the craziest receiver peaks we've ever seen.
That, and maybe for a lot of people, the last straw, Ocho, is that what he did at the Jets when he...
That was it.
Hey, I'm going to see. They said,
Yes.
All I know is they say behavior now matters, where it never mattered before. And T.O. never had any issues off the field. We're going to see how they judge Ben Roethlisberger.
Now it gets dangerous, because once you say behavior matters, you cannot only use the standard on the player everybody already decided was difficult. Either off the field perception matters for everybody, or it becomes selective punishment.
It all depends on, obviously, those that are doing the voting, that are letting the players in. You have to align with them and their core values and what they think a player should be like in getting in on that first ballot. So it's different. Sometimes what I don't like about those in a position of power to vote those in is they hold grudges based on things that have nothing to do with the game of football. It had nothing to do with what did you do in between them lines on Sundays at 1 o'clock and at 7:30 and sometimes at 4. That's all. For me, if I was voting, what you did on that field.
That's the real accusation. Ocho's basically saying the Hall of Fame isn't always just a football conversation. It can become a personality test. Did you make the voters comfortable? Did you fit the image they wanted? Did you say the right things to the right people? And that's where AB's case gets complicated, because his numbers say one thing, but his reputation gives voters a reason to slow walk it.
Let me ask you, you're a reporter. So you come to me after the game. Hey, Mr. Shaw, what you think? Man, get out my face. Now, I'm going to give you my butt to kiss for about a decade.
Right, okay.
Now it's going to come time for me to be a Hall of Fame, get the Hall of Fame vote, and I'm going to need your vote, Ocho. Tell me how you thinking, Ocho.
I see you going with it. So now that situation, that situation in general, that comes down to Bill Belichick not going in first ballot. Hey.
There you go, Joe. Prime example. 6 Super Bowls, 9 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl wins as a defensive coordinator. He was so great that they took the game plan in which he used in 1990 to stop the K-gun. It's in the Hall of Fame as you and I talk today. He didn't get in on the first ballot.
That example makes the whole thing feel way more real, because now we're not just talking about numbers on a stat sheet. We're talking about power. The same reporter a player brushed off after a game might one day be part of the room deciding how fast history validates him. And when Belichick gets brought into it, the argument gets even bigger. If winning at the highest level doesn't automatically erase politics, then AB definitely doesn't get a clean path. That doesn't mean voters are wrong to consider everything, but it does mean we should be honest about what the vote really is. It isn't only greatness. It is greatness plus perception.
Listen, they're going to take care of Ocho.
No, Joe, don't do that, Joe. Don't do that. No. I like it the way it is. No, you don't understand, Joe. Hey, and no disrespect to them boys, getting in, but you have to understand, Joe, is I understand the meaning of it, right? But it's not something that I actually need, because I understood when I was playing, I'm going to conduct myself in a manner where a lot of people aren't going to like the way I do things. They're not. And I was okay with that. So the fact remains that I was able to be authentically myself. And if that didn't sit well with those that are in those positions of power that do the voting, I'm good. That's why I put...
Who caught them yards? Who caught them yards? Who put the ball in the end zone?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Damn all that other stuff, the proposal to the cheerleader and all that other stuff. Man,
they look at all that, though.
You did that.
They look at all that, though. And I understand.
No, they don't. They shouldn't.
That's the cleanest version of Ocho's argument. He's not pretending personality doesn't matter. He's saying, I knew who I was. I knew some people were not going to like it, but the work still happened. And that's what makes us connect back to AB. At some point, voters have to decide what they're actually measuring. Are they measuring the cleanest public image, or are they measuring the player who lined up, got open, changed coverages, scored touchdowns, and made defenses deal with him every single week? Because once the numbers are real enough, the personality conversation starts feeling less like evaluation and more like punishment.
Yeah. I like it though, Joe. Doing it my way, Joe. Being the villain. I enjoy being the villain. I embrace that. And I think if I tried to be anything else other than myself and the way I played the game as a kid, I think I wouldn't have been good. Nah,
really?
I don't think so. I wouldn't have been good.
No, I agree.
So so you enjoy being that?
Yeah, I had to, Joe. I had to talk trash every week. I had to, because I had to add pressure to myself. For one, I'm in a situation we were losing. We were playing. We were bad during my time, during my tenure. Hey, what I played 11 years and had one good season. I mean, totality as a
one
team.
time.
Joe, I had no choice. I could fill up a stadium, Joe, and we was winning 4-game seasons. But I can fill up a stadium based on ain't no telling what he gonna do. I got to go watch.
And that's the part fans understand better than voters sometimes. The villain isn't always just a distraction. Sometimes the villain is the reason people are watching. Ocho's saying he had to create energy around bad teams. He had to add pressure to himself. He had to make people feel anything could happen. And that's why this whole Hall of Fame debate is so hard. Because the same personality that makes a player must-watch television can be the same personality voters use against him later. That's the AB problem. Everybody remembers the chaos, but everybody also remembers the dominance. So my final read is this. Antonio Brown shouldn't get a free pass for everything around his career. But if the Hall of Fame is supposed to tell the story of football, you cannot tell the story of a modern wide receiver and act like AB was just some side character. The production was too loud. The peak was too high. The impact was too obvious. So the real question is simple. Should Antonio be judged strictly by what he did between the lines? Or did everything outside the game cost him the right to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Now I want to hear your opinion. Drop your take below. Let me know. Do you think AB should be in on the first ballot? Do you think AB should have to wait? Or do you think AB doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame at all? Please drop your comments, hit the like and subscribe button. Come back for more. I'll see you in the Hypeverse. Peace out.
The Hypeverse, more than sports.